everyone, welcome to my channel. I might sound a little different today because I am still sick. Don't be fooled by my outer exterior. I put on makeup and I dress up, but inside I am so sick right now. So don't mind me and my voice if it's nasally. Um, Sorry. But today I'm going to be channeling your angels, ancestors, and guides as always. And my ears already ringing because it's been so long since I've done a reading for you guys that there's just messages wanting to come out really, really quick. So let's just get right into it, okay? The back of the deck is Three of Cups in reverse. So, Three of Cups is normally all about celebrating, about, just being around the people that love to celebrate you and congratulate you. But with it being in reverse, I'm seeing that maybe you are removing yourself away from people that you used to celebrate with, people that you used to kind of associate celebrations with. You've kind of distanced yourself from them, and it's because you are walking towards your Nine of Cups, something that brings you fulfillment, you specifically, with no one else in mind. It's just you and your energy. You want to bring in that feeling of goodness, of wholeness within yourself, right? And with the world clarifying it underneath, I'll show you guys. So what I'm seeing is that there's balance coming in. There's all four elements are balancing themselves out within you. I forgot to mention, but I'd like to mention that I have a shop online called crystallith.com where I sell high vibrational crystals that I imbue with my own light energy, and they are all ethically sourced, and so the energetic footprint of it is clear. And I also offer readings on that website as well. There's a panel that you can go to that's for tarot readings, and you can purchase 3 different types of readings on there. The quintessential, which is a general reading, the star seed, which is all about your soul journey and your soul mission here on earth. And then the last one is the lovers, which is about aligning you with your divine partner. And so if you would like, I have all of the resources there, and I hope you guys have a good day. And because of that, you are actually reaching a sense of fulfillment because you're not distracted by probably the people that you used to celebrate with, right? They brought you nothing but confusion around the Empress, confusion around what you truly deserve in this lifetime. I feel like a lot of the people that you hung out with had a lot of limiting beliefs, and it was kind of ingrained in them. And this information might have been ingrained in you as well, but you differentiated yourself. You became you changed yourself to become mentally different, spiritually different. I think your values have changed, your ethics have changed, your morals have changed. You see the world in a very different way now. And because of that, there's some sort of completion that has occurred, right? With the world, it's also like a sense of completion and like a full circle moment. And so maybe you're coming back to a state of knowing that maybe you tapped into early on in your life as a kid, maybe. But you had to forget it because it wasn't helpful for you in the state, the conditions that you were in, right? The environment that you were in didn't allow for your original understanding of the world to fit. It didn't work. And so you had to change yourself to kind of fit the mold to survive. That's what all kids do. They have to do that in order to survive. And so you've kind of let it go. And now you're back to this place that you kind of originally came on earth with. And that's beautiful. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you, collective. It takes a lot of unlearning to get to that point, right? And with the strength coming out in reverse with the Ace of Swords, this lack of courage to speak truth, this lack of courage to see the truth, was because you just weren't around the people that you knew would still accept you. You knew that if you were to come out with the truth, with acknowledgement of the truth, you would be outcasted. And maybe before, being outcasted didn't really feel good because you still really enjoyed the presence of who was around you. You still wanted their validation. You still wanted them to care about you. And so you hid the truth because there just wasn't courage there, and that's not your fault. It was just the timing of your life. Like, you just weren't ready yet. And but eventually, this truth just kept ringing in your ear and ringing and ringing. And sometimes this truth accompanies another being. With the Nine of Cups, normally it's a solitary card, but in this deck specifically, it's with a counterpart. So the truth might have been ringing through a counterpart. And I'm sensing that, you kept thinking about this person. No matter how hard you tried to ignore or erase their good parts by talking down on them, by focusing on what you thought to be true about this person, they kept coming up as the bringer of truth for you. Because this sounds very twin flame. So it sounds like your counterpart, your DM or DF, held this truth for you even when you weren't willing to hold it. And so it seems like the roles are in reverse now, where maybe before the divine feminines really held on to the truth for the masculines, and now it's kind of flipped where the masculines are like, I understand the truth, I want to be honest, I want there to be truth. But now the divine feminine has entered a state of just acceptance over because you can't really break someone out of the matrix unless they want to themselves, right? They have to actively choose it for themselves. You can't be the one dragging someone out of their comfort zone. That's just not going to happen. And so the divine feminine has kind of come to a place, or if not, if this isn't a twin flame, it's just the energy of truth, right? And so there's some complacency, and then there's a truth aspect. So there's two aspects. The complacency is that, there's acceptance over what has occurred. If they don't want the truth, that's okay. I'm going to move forward. That's the DM. That's the person holding the truth, right? They're just like, you know what? I'm going to let it go. I actually am going to let it go. I'm not going to hold on. I'm not going to create any narrative around the situation anymore. I am simply giving it back to the universe because it's going nowhere, right? So one person's like that. And now it's kind of like, now that the divine masculine has accepted the truth and the feminine has kind of let go, the masculine is the one wielding the sword now, the one holding the truth, the one holding the clarity, right? And this is why divine counterparts are a thing, because humans are humans. Sometimes we can lose our faith in a lot of things and lose our faith in the path when the other person just simply isn't up to par, when they just refuse, right? And so with this kind of the person that's kind of turning away from the truth now is actually still wielding the truth. It's just another part of it, right? It's I value myself enough to let you go. I value myself to understand that who I am as a person is not only connected through you. I am my own person still, with you or without you. right? And so there is still truth with that. I think the thing is now is that Spirit's asking to bring balance into that connection, right? Is to allow for both truths to exist. It's to allow that we are designed for each other. We are counterparts. That's what a counterpart is. They hold like parts of you that you can't hold yourself, right? And that's not to put like a burden on the counterpart. It's just something when you're actually like in love with someone, you're willing to kind of hold them through parts that have hurt them tremendously. And now I'm crying. So I feel like this brings up a lot of emotions for you, right? When you think about this connection, when you think about you as in a spiritual sense, you feel like and if not a person, I really feel like it is, but if it's not, if you've just been going through this journey on your own, it's as if you've kind of split your energy and you have fully went into one mode of being or the other. And the other side now is trying to kind of come back and be like, hey, this aspect of you is also really important. It's really crucial to your balance. Because if you look here in the back, the sail, there's a yin and yang. And so there's a light and dark aspect that needs to be held and nurtured and healed through, because there's also a snake. And a snake is originally the animal of transformation, of change, of growth, of spiritual ascension. And so Spirit is saying there needs to be balance now, or there is just balance coming in now. And they're just giving you a heads up saying what you hold is the truth, but the truth is more expansive than what you may think, right? And so maybe if you are dealing with a counterpart, maybe they're holding one aspect of the truth and they're like, no, I'm the one in the right. I have the truth, but then you do too. So there comes to a point where there needs to be compromise, where there needs to be communication, where there needs to be openness to communication. That's what I'm hearing. It's a sign that it's time to concede. It's time to tap into the scales, justice. It's time for balance. And the way that this will be done is by letting go of the need to be completely correct in this situation. Letting go of the need to push your narrative above everybody else's. Right? And so, there's balance coming in, and it's funny because it's as if you're stepping more into a receptive state now. I don't know why I said it's funny. I don't think it's that funny. It's just something I say. There's just balance coming into your life, and it's really needed because you may feel quite defeated at this time, and it's important to know that the other person does too. If you're still in a divine union with your counterpart, which you are, like any twin flame, if you're not together in the physical, you're definitely together in the spiritual and the energetic. In the 5D realm, you guys are together. Okay, that's your hubby and that's your wifey. Okay, we're not gonna just try to skirt away from that. It's that you guys are already in union in other dimensions. It's just in this third dimension where there's things like ego, pride, miscommunication. You'd be surprised at how much miscommunication can ruin a connection. Oh, sorry, I just got a notification from Snapchat. So maybe they'll Snapchat you. Maybe they'll hit you up through some form of social media, and it might be more casual because they don't want to come off too strong. Okay, this connection causes both sides to feel very strongly towards each other, and that's where a lot of the mishaps can occur if both people aren't on the same page. Just that strong energy combating each other, it's kind of disastrous. And I think that's what a lot of people that have twin flames have been experiencing. It's just that that lack of ability to communicate. So I feel like a lot of twin flames now have learned about communication, about working with a partner, and not just with your own will. It's with someone else, and it's important to be open. And maybe you're saying that, I am open, I have been, but I want you to challenge yourself and ask, this could be a journal prompt too. It's not about outing you. It's just about understanding yourself a bit deeper, right? And sometimes it's scary, and so we get a little bit more defensive about that. But in actuality, it's just something to dive into, because it's just you. It's about you, right? It's your own inner world. And so journaling about how, what are some preconceived notions, what are some projections that you may have put on this person? What were you going through at the time when you met this person that made you believe certain aspects about them, that they weren't good enough? Okay, because the whole twin flame thing is like you meet each other when you're not ready, right? And so what parts of you weren't ready? What parts of you were you kind of coddling because you weren't ready to allow it to grow yet? Ask yourself those questions, journal about it, and you'll be surprised with yourself, and you'll come to understand yourself a bit better. Of course, don't judge yourself for it. The whole point is not to judge yourself. The whole point is to get to know yourself. The whole point is to understand where past traumas might lead you to making kind of leaps and jumps about people, about understanding people, and seeing how, and just understanding yourself like that, you will prevent it in the future, right? You won't jump to conclusions and be presumptuous, right? And I'm not calling you guys out, because we all do that. We all have pre-assumptions. We all kind of have that's our understanding of the world and the people around us, right? We use our observations and we're like, oh, this person is probably like that. Oh, this person's probably like that. And so challenge yourself, ask yourself where those things come from. Okay? So the cards I pulled out for you guys are the Broken Arrow, Embrace the Energy of Peace. Yeah, so conceding. It's allowing the other part to also be true, because that is the only way for peace in this connection. It's by allowing both parties to be living in the truth. No one is running away. No one is the runner. No one is the chaser. You're just two individuals. You're just two beings having a human experience, okay? And how can you bring this energy of peace between you and this other human being? How can you rid of the feelings of being defensive? How can you come into the energy of peace? And I think just being able to listen to the other person, to just listen with the intention to understand, not to combat, not to defend, is just to understand their side, to hear them out, to hear their journey, right? We're not going to be the ones to be like, oh, your journey's not true. It's like, that's their journey. Yes, it is true. Okay. Spring, see your seeds grow. And so you guys have really planted the intentions for this relationship early on, both of you. And that's why it still has held on for this long. Do not underestimate your guys' ability to manifest, because you guys have planted a seed, right? I know when I first met my twin flame, I really planted the flag. I was like, this is my husband. This is my husband right here. And just know, like, if you did that, you really meant it. And so there were seeds of manifestations put into that moment, put into that connection, put into that union. And now it's finally growing. Spring is here. Spring is here. And it's allowing you to bloom. And it's allowing your counterpart to bloom. And when you guys are no longer kind of like running around, skirting around each other, avoiding this, avoiding that because of each other, you guys are going to actually meet. Once the avoidance is gone on both sides, and you're just like, oh wait, they're a human being. Why am I so afraid? Why am I so caught up with this narrative? Why am I so hesitant always with this person? Once all those things drop, and maybe they won't, it's just that you just kind of have to go for it, because they're not going to bite your head off. They love you. Right? Like, the whole point is, like, they love you. That's why you feel that connection with them. Okay, it's reciprocal. And both of you are psychic. And both of you are telepathic. And so, of course, both of you are going to feel it. And so if there's hesitancy to reach out to this person, don't feel hesitant, because it's time. It's just time for you guys to drop that whole thing. It doesn't matter anymore. What matters is that this connection has held out for that long. Think about it. Don't think about the pride and the ego and I'm not that type of person that's going to accept this and this and that. It's like, well, think about it. This energy hasn't left your side since the first encounter. This resonance hasn't softened at all. Your guys' telepathic communication, when you're feeling some way, they can feel it, because they start feeling the same way too. Spirit's saying don't run away, don't hide away, don't latch on to the old stories that feed your pride, that feed your ego, that make you feel superior, that make you feel like you won in the situation and they lost and all that stuff. When it comes to love, when it comes to soul resonance, none of that matters. What matters is that the resonance is still there. What matters is that you still think about them. What matters is that they still think about you. Right? And because I think both sides truly believed that time would kind of make them feel less of this connection, and time would kind of erase the connection and make it a silly blip in their history, right? Both of you guys just kind of assumed like, oh, we're just gonna look back at this and think about how ridiculous we were, like separately, of course. But Spirit's saying like, just relax. Just allow. Just receive. Because the more you fight back, because at the same time you're probably manifesting true love. You're manifesting a great divine connection, one that can only be brought in by the divine, right? And so, like, even if you're saying, like, you are releasing this, your twin flame is a very divine connection. That's why I came to you in the first place, because you are entirely deserving of a divine union. But what Spirit doesn't want you to do is use the past as a reason to avoid them. What Spirit wants you to see is that even though time has passed, the energy is still there. And it's not because you're incapable of letting go. It's not because you are holding on to the past, or just, all that stuff that you might say to yourself every time they come up, which is like every day at this point. It's getting stronger and stronger and stronger. I can sense it. It's like the minute you wake up, you think about them. The minute you pick up your phone, you're hoping that it's them. I don't know. It's things like that. It's literally like you keep thinking that they are just around the corner, right? And that's because they are. Both parties are coming to an understanding that you can't run from this. And the more you try, the longer it will take for you to come into divine union. And if that's truly what you want, a divine union, there's an energy of conceding. There's an energy of allowing the other person to come back into your life. And I'm hearing now, why would I allow them back into my life if it's not forever? And Spirit wants to ask you, what makes you think that it's not forever? What makes you think that they wouldn't love you for eternity? Because they do. They are your twin flame. They freaking love you throughout time and space and reincarnations. And there's been reincarnations where you were on earth and they weren't. And that love, they still held on and you still held on, right? And you guys came back together throughout everything. Why? Because you're just willing, because that's your person. And so of course you're going to, because that's your home. That's where you feel home with your person. So the idea of forever is a lot more expansive than what we may be putting as a definition. Because even when you're not in a physical body, even when you're not a physical form, they are still with you. Even when they're not in a physical form, they are still with you. They love you. And they won't settle for any other person. Because it's you. It's always been you. And I just feel like I confess to you guys or something. It's putting me in such a vulnerable, raw state, but it's true. What they want to say is I love you. The reason why I have hung on isn't because I'm weak or is because I'm unable to move forward. It's because I just love you. And the energy doesn't go away. Right? I'm crying again. There's tears coming to my eyes. So I understand how deep this love is. Because the minute I tap into it, I just want to cry. And I want to and I just want to fall into it. You guys, stop running away from your love. I don't think you guys are, but I'm just being funny. So let's pull out some angel cards for you guys. And hopefully the tears will stop coming. I don't know why I'm so emotional. And I think it's just an emotional reading. I think it's just like a really heart-centered reading. One that we haven't really had in a long time, right? So Spirit, angels, what message you have for the collective? Angels, come on. Fountain of faith. My faith is stronger than my fears. Yeah, that's exactly where Spirit wants you. They want you in this place where, all right, you want your divine counterpart, believe in it. Actually believe in it. Believe that you are deserving of it, worthy of it, and that it's coming for you and that it's already here. The point of you guys meeting was for you to understand that you have a divine love in this lifetime. It didn't go your way. It didn't go their way because it wasn't time yet. But it was to show you that your true love is here. That your counterpart is here. That was the point of you guys meeting. So yeah, my faith is stronger than my fears. Make sure your faith in a divine union is stronger than the fear of never being in one, of never meeting, of never aligning, right? Keep those thoughts away. Keep those thoughts at bay. Don't allow them to feed on your energy. Don't let it. It's so like parasitic, those fears. And of course they're rooted in a place that you can understand and you know, you can dissect and you know exactly where it comes from. But at the end of the day, don't allow your fears to overcome your faith. Especially in yourself, right? You believe in yourself. Why would you not believe that you're deserving of a divine union? And many of you might be like, no, I deserve someone better than my twin flame. And it's like, well, sometimes that's true. And sometimes you do deserve better than what they are exhibiting. But if you're constantly, and if it's your intention to come into a divine connection, you might be getting into your own way by feeding into these fears, by building your walls higher, by running even further. You might be delaying. And there's a lot of fears of being like, well, what if I come into union, or what if I come into contact and they just don't appreciate my energy? It's like, then it's not time. But I believe that both of you will understand when the right time is. And, you know, there's a lot of things out there saying like, if you're in the waiting energy, then you're just going to wait forever. But there is such thing as patience and divine timing. And we can't look away from those things just because it's not going at the pace that we desire. And so I'm going to close it out with the Guan Yin card, because she is all about love, compassion, and I think collective, you guys need some compassion on this journey right now. Things might be really difficult for you. So let's pull out one last card from Guan Yin. The messages you have been receiving. This is your card, by the way. The messages you have been receiving that are unconditionally loving, fearless, and encouraging of you to grow and be Your true self are from your higher guidance. The 8 immortals and other beings of divine light and divine love are guiding you. It is safe to follow these messages now. Doing so will bring you greater joy. Yeah, so, sometimes we might be running away from our own guidance, from our own team, right? Because it doesn't align with what we want in that moment. And maybe what you want is to allow the situation to completely die out because you have come into acceptance over it. If you are a divine feminine, you have come into acceptance that this connection may never manifest, may never actually come true, right? But Spirit's saying like, no, it's coming true, and we're not trying to yank your chain. We're not trying to give you high hopes to bring you down. It's the truth. And if you're willing to accept it, then cool. But if you're not, you're still going to accept it later on. It's still going to happen. But it's important that you don't fight against all of the guidance that you've been given. Okay? Just because your pride tells you that it's important for you to move on. It's important for you to maintain your worthiness, maintain your wholeness, and just move on, right? But I'm talking to the people that have actually really wanted divine love. You want that divine connection. It's something you desire. It's something within you that you can't just walk away from, because the next person you meet that incites that feeling of love, guess what? There's going to be instances where you start feeling like, where you start thinking about your divine partner, because love, that unconditional love, is it's not tied, but it's aligned. It's aligned with your divine partner. And so every time you step into the energy of unconditional love, of reciprocal love, you're always going to hear that same guidance. You're always going to hear about your twin. Sorry, I'm so hot right now. I'm using the card as a fan. But it's almost as if that information will always ring true. And it might be like, you guys might be like, this is BS. But it's like, it's love, guys. Love doesn't make a lot of sense, does it? I'm still learning. I'm channeling for you guys, but I'm still going through this journey too. So hearing this information is just like, oh my God, are you serious? But know that your guides love you so, so much, and they are not here to ruin your life by aligning you with your twin flame. Okay? So that's all I have for you today. I hope that these messages resonated. If they did, go ahead and give this video a like, subscribe if you like the way I read, and hype it up if you'd like, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.